Have you ever seen a chess puzzle that makes you feel something? Excitement, confusion, obsession? Well, these 10 will do that and more. Well, let's start off easy. You've got 10 seconds. There it is. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go! That's it. So, did you spot it? How did it go for you? What was this puzzle all about anyway? Well, we will get to that next. Join me as we continue for day 13 of our 30-day YouTube video series. This is Elevating Your Game with 303 Tactical Chess Puzzles. I'm vryBot, a US certified coach and international expert, and today we're diving into another 10 puzzles that will sharpen your killer instinct. We are switching gears a lot from yesterday. Yesterday was quiet moves. Today's being loud, eventful, craziness. So today's goal is boldness. In fact, let's get right into the next puzzle. You notice? Knight to f3, a very bold and strong check on the king. In fact, he can only go to the square g2 because the whole bottom row is taken by a rook, so he pops on over. Then we give a check, hitting the king and a rook. We're going to gobble up some stuff. King can go wherever he likes, wherever he can, and we're just going to capture. If he chooses to capture our queen, we retake. If he chooses to take the knight, well, we have won the exchange. Very nice job. In fact, that reminds me, you guys should be pausing the video anytime during the rest of these puzzles and drop your answers in the comments below. We should have answers from yesterday on this puzzle right here. This was our bonus puzzle, our secret puzzle that's always left at the end for you to solve and then come back to get the answer for next time we have a video. So how did you do with this one? This one was actually a bit of a discovered attack. It's pretty fancy. We're going to play rook takes c3, giving a check to the king. The king cannot come over to the side because the queen and bishop are both smashing that square. So the king gets over or puts a bishop in the way. We take it. Either way, it's check. He runs away or he takes it. Doesn't matter. We have a wide open discovered attack on the queen, in which case the king's going to lose that exchange. So he might simply try to run away. To begin with, we're going to check him anyways and grab this up. This is where he can grab the most material, but we're still winning the game. Let's throw in another move real quick. Run away. Take that too. Let's go! Now remember I mentioned that puzzles can make you feel stuff? Well, this one makes me feel really excited. I love endgames, and oftentimes you might feel that there's just nothing left. It's the end of the game. What are we going to do? How are you going to draw up enough energy to go on a crushing attack with tactics? Well, this is a great example for that. There's a lot of excitement still left on the chessboard here. Rook takes b7. If black wants to continue the game in boldness, which we've been talking about, he's going to need to recapture. But really, the knight is too clumsy to do anything about this pawn. He can come here, he can go to d8, he can go wherever he likes. He just can't stop it. He's always a move just behind. We're going to promote. So there is rook takes. Maybe he ignores it. What else could he play? He plays pawn to b4. He's going for it. Well, of course we're going to take that. What can he do now? Maybe blockade. Well, we're going to go attack him. If he gets out of the way and still remains guarding the square, we just push it. If he takes it now, he probably has to. Well, we're going to get the knight. If he doesn't, he's awkward again, and he's never going to make it to stop us. This one might give a sense of beauty and imagination on the chessboard. Go ahead and try to solve for yourself and drop your answer in the comments below. What would you play here? What did you play here? Queen to d6. So beautiful. We're threatening a couple of things. We're threatening rook up to the top, takes, check, goes wherever he likes. Oops, he goes down, and we checkmate him with the pawn's help. The kiss of death again. Mwah, we've talked about that. There's a whole different line that could happen. Queen to f8, king takes, and rook to the back with a back rank checkmate. We've seen that before too. Don't you just love it when all these plans come together? We're learning a ton of tactical motifs. That's what it's called. Can black do anything about this? Not really. He has to give up the queen. We're going to take that. We continue to win the game. This ain't no thing. Weren't we talking about bold, powerful moves? You bet. Here's one for black. See if you can spot it. Drop your answer in the comments. This one just makes me feel happy. First of all, we have this knight all up in our business. He's just annoying. He's guarding a really important square here on b7. And this is the first time today we're actually going to put together our method. So make sure that we're going to count material, look for checks, captures, and threats, which always makes it so much easier to find excellent moves in chess puzzles. We have 2, 4 pawns versus 2, 4, 5 pawns. White's up a pawn. We have 3 minor pieces, 2 bishops. They got 3 minor pieces, 2 bishops. The rook and queen versus a rook and queen. So we continue. Now, like I mentioned, this knight is all up on our business. We got to look for checks and captures. I don't see any checks other than a check with a capture. It's the only one. That could be a move. Other captures include capturing this errant knight all up in our face. And I don't see any other captures. So look ahead to threats. I would love to play stuff like queen to b7 and just checkmate the guy on the next turn. There's this pawn who can't move to get in the way because he's pinned. We could capture here. We don't know what the move is yet, but we do see the checks, the captures, the threats, and we know the material imbalance is in favor for white. Not to mention an amazing outpost for a knight. It's time to put it all together. Knight's annoying in my way. I'm going to take this thing off the board. He can do whatever he likes. Doesn't matter. Because once we get queen to b7, nothing's left but the crying. The queen is coming to g2 or h1, and it's unstoppable. So, how'd you do on that one? How are you doing so far? Drop your comments or your scores. Let me know right now. Are there any powerful moves for this chess puzzle? I don't know. You tell me. Well, there's definitely some really cool captures here. There's rook takes. There's queen takes, queen takes, queen takes. Could it even be one of these crazy looking moves? Actually, it is. Queen takes g6. And this is something we've seen quite a bit of. It's just your typical, everyday, run-of-the-mill knight fork. We're checking the king and the queen. We love doing that, don't we? And when we recapture on the end, even though black gets some material back, we just went up the exchange again. So, if we would have counted the material before, we would have seen that it was completely materially balanced. But now, at the end of this combination, we actually went up basically 2 pawns, or we went up the exchange. Rook for bishop. Not bad at all, my friends. Here is another chance for black to play powerful, bold, creative chess. That's been the theme. Let's take a quick look at the material. 2, 4, 6 versus 2, 4, 6. We've got 3 minors. They've got 3 minors. 2 rooks and a queen. 2 rooks and a queen. Material balanced. Next, checks and captures. Oh no, we have 0 checks. That's kind of sad. What about captures? So, threats? Well, if we don't have much for checks and captures, it has to be in the threats, doesn't it? In fact, there's a really fun threat here. Let's hit that queen. Hopefully you notice also that the queen is guarding the knight on e5. So she's got to figure out how to wiggle around and guard the knight at the same time, dodging bullets. So queen to c7, well, that's not going to work because we go rook to c8, and that's going to kick her out yet again. She can nab a pawn for her efforts, but we will go ahead and grab this knight with our queen. Let's go back. Well, maybe she simply goes to c5. It seems like that's a great place to stay guarding this knight. The trouble is she can't get out this way because the knight is hitting that square also after having kicked her out of d6. So all we need to do is kick her out one more time. That's it. She'll have no more connection to this knight whatsoever. She has no squares to get to save this knight. She goes away for the life of the queen, and we capture the knight. Can you seize control of this situation? That's the feeling here. Black is up a pawn. Everything else seems to be balanced. Black is on the attack, and that white king is in a bit of a danger zone. A few ideas might have popped up in your head based on what I just said, but this is a really elusive puzzle. So, this is the one that I'm going to save and not give the answer to in this puzzle series. If you want to show that you were able to solve this puzzle, you're going to have to drop your observations in the comments below. This is not easy, and it's going to be great to hear what you came up with. That brings us back to really fun chess. Here we have kind of a weird situation where white's up a lot of material and black is just wiggling around trying to stay alive and draw out the game for so long that we get boring and maybe make a slip, whether it's a mouse slip or over the board, we just fall asleep and fall out of our chair. So it's time to actually put this game in the books, nail in the coffin. Let's go. Bishop to d1. Weren't we talking about bold moves? Well, this is set up the most amazing threat we can actually come up with. We can now threaten to move this rook anywhere we want, and I would go after this rook if I could, with a check discovered from the bishop. So let's go ahead and bother the bishop. Maybe we could take the bishop when he tries to move his rook, right? No, we're going to put this in the way. We're going to block that rook. We're going to discover the bishop on the king anyways. He can't take us because it's check. So he runs away and we're going to take the rook anyways. What are some other variations here? Well, maybe he takes our pawn. That looks really interesting, but we're going to go rook to f2. We're going to unleash this bold move once again, powerful move, and we're going to take the rook on the next turn. Well, that really leaves just one more place to wiggle. What about king to h4? Can you spot this one? Here's an opportunity for you to drop something beautiful in the comments. Be the first to drop it in the comments, and I might be able to shout you out in the next video. So this one has a lot of solutions. In fact, I would recommend you here, after trying your best chess moves, to go ahead and use the computer to analyze this puzzle. With so many variations that win the game, you're bound to find endless ideas in tactics and tactical motifs to help you really understand and learn from a chess puzzle. This is the instructive puzzle. So I'm just going to show you what the authors intended for you to understand here. There is knight to f3, which is super bold, powerful, complicated, and beautiful. So this is everything that we've been talking about today. If king takes, that looks like the most likely and simple idea, but that's going to unleash our rook again. Once we just move the knight out of the way, this is going to deliver a check to the king, and we're capturing a piece who was guarding a very important square, g4. If we ever traded our queen there before, the knight was just going to take, but now that knight is gone. So the king moves wherever he likes to go. We capture back. I'm just going to leave it there for now. So many lines to see here, so much beauty. I highly recommend that you dig into this puzzle. And since we're having so much fun with more complicated puzzles that require beautiful, powerful, bold moves, this one is a bit more elusive, and I'm leaving you today with no answer on this as well. Consider this your secret puzzle, your bonus puzzle. You do need to drop your comments on this one down below so that I can check and review and provide you the answer next time. That was the last puzzle, at least the last one you'll see from me today. You solved what you solved, but maybe what matters most is what you missed. Anyways, this isn't the end. It never is. Cartoon vryBot should pop up on your screen to subscribe. Don't forget to like and thumbs up the video. Don't forget to comment somewhere with your chess answers, and make sure share it with someone as well. And if you ever need a chess coach, I'm here. And more videos available.